I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's call. My name is Duncan Driscoll, and I'd like to just walk you through a short introduction to a company called Isagenix while I'm loading this up. I was introduced to this company about 5 years ago from a person I had a tremendous amount of respect for, Herb Cepeda. And I've known Herb and his wife Patty for over 30 years. And he knows that I'm an entrepreneur, and he asked me if I'd be interested in taking a look at a business possibility. And he went on to tell me about this incredible company, Isagenix. So I don't know what you know about this company. I didn't know hardly anything at all about it. But he did go on to tell me that at the time he was earning about $50,000 a week. And I said, Herb, $50,000 a week is a lot of money, especially with no paperwork, no payroll, no storefront, no inventory, no employees, no stress, and freedom. I said, just tell me what to do, and I'll do it. And I basically became a wholesale buyer for about 4 or 5 years. And then I'll tell you the rest of my story as we go through this presentation. But tonight, I just want to focus a little bit more on the product line and the solutions that the company has. So I'm going to go through a very fast, just little slide deck. Just if you don't know anything about the company, or maybe you do, I just want everybody to kind of see this. And then we have a very special guest on the call tonight, Jessica Johnston, and she's just a dynamo, and she has an incredible story about the results that she's had on this product line. And I'm really looking forward to kind of an impromptu, just a question and answer section. None of this is rehearsed. I've never done this before with Jessica, and so we're hopeful that that she can share some information that you'll be able to get to somebody that maybe is in a similar situation, or if somebody really wants to get healthy. So let me start with just this slide. We always start our presentations with a disclaimer. I may talk about money. If I do, I'm most likely talking about large incomes because that's what I'm interested in. But if you're interested in just learning about the products, that's really what we're here for tonight. What you put in is what you get out, just like with any other business opportunity. And this product line and this company doesn't profess to heal anything. This is not a drug. It's just the most incredible nutrition on the planet. And when you give your body what it needs to heal, amazing things happen. Your body's designed that way by God to heal itself. And so there are people who've had some incredible experiences, but again, no drugs here. This is just the best nutrition you can put in your body. So weight loss, as far as weight loss, everybody's unique. Everyone's in a different situation, but this company does have a solution to lose body fat and increase lean muscle mass or preserve it. And if you follow the program, you can expect to get the results that you like to get if you're committed to it. And there's everything here comes with 100% money back guarantee. If for any reason you're not satisfied, after giving this a shot, within 30 days, you can get 100% of your money back. There's no risk. So our vision is that everyone deserves to experience a healthy, joyful, and abundant life, that everybody should look better, eat better, feel better, move better, and Isagenix helps that happen. Isagenix has been in the news frequently, from Inc. 500 to Success Magazine, People Magazine. If you're not tuned in, you probably don't know, but there are numerous stories of people in People Magazine that have lost over 100 pounds and gotten themselves into a really good state of healthy being. So this is my story. So Herb called me. I was a product user for about 4 years. I got into a motorcycle accident, and 8 months later, I after not being able to move much, I broke 7 ribs, separated my collarbone, and did some other things. I decided to put the product line to the test. So I entered the IsaBody Challenge, a fitness challenge that the company sponsors. And within 16 weeks at 58 years old, I completely transformed my physique. These are some of the other people that were nominated with me as finalists, and one of them actually won $25,000. And Eric, he was runner-up. I think he ran 10,000. Anybody can enter this contest. I simply entered it as a way to hold myself accountable, because I really needed to make a change in my life, in my body, and in my health. And we're not unique. If you just Google Isagenix transformations, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people that have similar stories. And, you know, from the outside, you can tell, oh my goodness, this person's in incredible shape. What you don't see is what happens on the inside. And that's what I'm going to ask Jessica to talk a little bit about, you know, this evening. So what can you expect? Well, the company's done double-blind studies out of major universities, and you could expect, if you follow the program, to have similar results to these: 56% more weight loss, 47% more fat loss, twice as much visceral fat loss as a heart-healthy diet, and it's been proven. They have a no-compromise policy towards quality. That means above organic grade nutrition. Everything is quality tested for chemicals, heavy metals. This is super clean food. We have what we call the 11-day shred. The company calls it a 9-day cleanse. I like what we call it better because it sounds a little bit more exciting. These are results that people have had in just 11 days by getting this body fat off the body and protecting lean muscle mass. And by the way, this is with or without exercise. You can expect to have fantastic results. Sheila is on this call with us this evening, 74 years old, retired pilot. Take a look at this. You know how hard this is to do on a diet? At 74 years old, you know, when you get over 50, it gets harder and harder to lose body fat. I mean, just take a look at what Sheila has done to transform her physique using this product line. Here's an example of a shake, whole blend, organic, you know, 24 grams of protein. They have solutions for people that like the plant-based protein or whey-based. Cleanse for Life, this product down on the bottom. This is a proprietary product that helps your body shuffle toxins out of individual cells. This is very, very different. It's proprietary, and the only company that has anything like it. This 9-day deep cleanse or 11-day shred, it's only $148. So if you really want to take a fast start to get healthy and feel better, get your energy back and drop, you know, 9 to 15 pounds on average of body fat in 11 days, that would be a great way to start. All the good, none of the bad. It's actually all the best and none of the bad. So these are some of the things you're not going to find in this product line. No herbicides, pesticides, everything's non-GMO, no high fructose corn syrup, no soy protein. It's the best of the best. And this is, again, a sample of a product that this is a fully balanced meal replacement shake, by the way. Take a look at this, 1 gram of sugar. This company is exploding. They're doing about $1 billion annually. These are some of the countries that we're doing business in. And it's really incredible because you can transform your health, your life, and you can share that experience with people around the world. And if you're inclined to generate a passive income, if that's something you're interested in, you could do that, whether it's a couple $100s a month or, you know, 50, 60, 70,000 a week. It's up to you. So this is a form of intermittent fasting. And again, it's not an intestinal flush. This is a cellular cleanse. You're getting the toxins out of your body. You can pick your protein. There's an assortment of different proteins for athletes. And by the way, we have professional athletes that have chosen this as their product of choice. They use it because it's the best product on the market, not because they're paid for it. Ionic Supreme, this is loaded with micronutrients. This is a product that was, the ingredients were originally used by Russian athletes in the 80s, and Jim Kruger went out and found out what they were doing. He brought it back into the United States. For guys, this is a great way to lower cortisol, increase testosterone. It's a great way just to level moods, your mood swings, feel better, reduce stress. When you drop your cortisol levels, your body fat also drops. So what is this Isagenix? It's just simply redirected spending. You take products that you're normally eating in your kitchen cabinet and replace them with something that's healthier. So instead of a Starbucks coffee, Isagenix has a better coffee that's low in acid, award-winning, tastes delicious, and organic. Instead of a Subway sandwich, you can save money by having a shake. That shake's under $4. I save $300 at least every month by substituting at least one meal a day for a shake. And if I wanted to get all the nutrients in that one shake right there, I'd have to eat all that food. And who wants to do that? Too time consuming and expensive. And so we don't shop at GNC. We buy directly online. It's shipped directly to the door. They have all types of targeted solutions that you can see here. Greens. I have a couple of scoops a day of greens. It's a powdered above organic source of green vegetables. And it's inexpensive and it's convenient and it tastes great. E-Shot, energy drink, natural. There's some of the coffee I was telling you about, Bia, an energy drink as well with adaptogens. And, so look, most people need to get started somewhere. Most people in this country are even a little bit over fat. Here's a family that I met when I was out in Arizona. Look what they've done as a family, and they're building a business together. Here's a friend of mine, Charles Kemp. He placed fifth in Mr. Universe. You can Google him, Charles Kemp, IFBB Pro. He trained and competed at 260 pounds. He uses these products every day, and he's just a great promoter. He's got other trainers as well, promoting the product. Again, other people, fantastic results, and these are my results again. 58 years old, 16 weeks. So clearly there's something special going on here. How does it work? If you want to make some money, I'm going to touch on this lightly. We all share things that we love, that we're interested in, that we like, restaurants, movies, etc. Maybe not so much anymore because we can't go to the mall all the time or in limited capacity. But we share things that we love, that we like. And when you do that with this company, they're willing to compensate you for it. And the company pays in something called a cycle. The cycle is $54. There are people that are earning 250 cycles a week. That's $13,500 a week and more. And so how does it work? You share with a couple of people, share with a couple of people, share with a couple of people, and so on. And whether it's every day you're sharing, every week, every month, every year, you can build this at your own pace. But just to give you an idea, if you had 2,000 customers doing what they call 100 BV per month, it's about $6 a day worth of redirected spending. You would earn $12,000 a month, and you can do that in a week. And so I just circled, again, as an entrepreneur, I always look, if I'm going to get involved in the business, what's the top end here? How much could I possibly make? I want to know that before I get started. And so there are people making, and this is right out of the company brochure, $56,700, $59,346 per week, and more. And so you can get back to the person that introduces to you, ask questions, and that's what we're going to do tonight. We'll open this up, and after Jessica shares, give people an opportunity to ask her some questions. But the best thing you can do is sample a lot of the different products, and they have different product packages to start with. It's all based upon your individual budget. The key is that you start somewhere. And so as far as the business goes, there's great benefits here. You can earn free product, get it paid for. We have a simple, proven system, tax benefits, legacy income. You can improve your health and wealth. And the question is, can this work for me? And I just want to chat real quick. My daughter's just moving from Teton County, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Right now, she's en route moving back to Virginia. And what's interesting about Teton County is the average income there is $250,000 a year. And what's even more interesting is that over 85% of the people that live there don't work. They're making their money passively. And so Kelly and I, my wife and I, decided that's something that's really interesting for us. And I was quite surprised by the amount of money I made last year, and that got me even more interested in this. And I've been in business for 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. So that's about it. I don't want to hit hard on the business tonight. I really want to get to Jessica's story. So I'm going to stop sharing. You can reach back to the person that invited you onto this call and learn more about whatever you're interested in hearing about. Jessica, again, I'm thankful that you're on. If you wouldn't mind just telling us a little bit about, your background, maybe what you do or what you did, and maybe some hobbies. This is super informal here. We're all like family, and we all know each other. We're friends. And so if you could, maybe we could just start there so we can get to know you just a little bit.
Yes, thank you so much. And I enjoyed hearing you actually, because I've heard you a couple of times, but everyone who's engaged in Isagenix to whatever capacity, you still learn something every time, and I like some of the verbiage that you used. So I'm really glad that I plugged in Patty just got a hold of me within a half hour ago and said, hey, could you jump on this call? I actually gave her a few other people that I think in the future would be great for you to feature on this call. I could line you up with some great testimonials. You just have to ask. So thank you for letting me share. I'm sitting in my car. I'm at soccer practice with my third daughter of 3 daughters. I had 2 daughters walk to the front of the community to get picked up for a ride to go to their cheerleading practice tonight. This is my life right here. So when I'm asked to do a call, I always appreciate if it's really casual. I told Patty, well, I managed to wash my hair today, so I'll go ahead and do this Zoom, because most days, it's hard to do that. But no, thank you for letting me share, and I really like the balance that you give to the product and to the income opportunity here. And this all started for me with product. All of this started with product, and over time, I did see that globally I could make a difference, and I started to share, and I decided to shift this into that suffered health challenges, which I'm going to talk about, with a preference to be home with my children as much as possible, but to still have an income for my family. And when I started to really understand that there was something else other than the product, because that's all I knew or even really was interested in or cared about in the beginning, when I started to discover there was something more here, and very delicately started to my brothers and my friends and my parents, I started to talk to them about, what this product could do for them. I uncovered that this could be the solution for me personally, to be at home with my kids and still have an income. And I can finish the conversation with how abundant that has been for me. But I wouldn't be here unless the product did what it did for me. And I wasn't looking for something in my health. Could I have had better health? Absolutely. And I owned 2 fitness centers at the time that I said yes to Isagenix. And in owning businesses, for me, I had to really be there and be present to make an impact. It was hard to raise my kids at home, but have 2 other people running my facilities. My brother, as a partner in the business, was there every day, and that was effective, and that was his profession. But for me, I wanted to do more, and I wanted to be home with my family. So Herb Cepeda, who also sponsored you and was very impressive to me also, his healthful look, his wife Patty's healthful look, the fact that they were home raising 5 children and homeschooling them, which prior to the pandemic was not really a normal thing to homeschool your children. I was so impressed with what they were doing. And I definitely looked at this as something that was, I didn't understand it. Like, how are those people not working in a job where they go to a desk every day, or, have this full-time traditional job, and how are they raising 5 kids and they're at home every day and they're on the golf course, And so I looked at it like, it confuses me, but what is it really about? Well, it's about this product. And when they approached me, my kids were so little. I was running the 2 fitness centers. I had another private swim instruction business that I was running. I was busy. Raising 3 kids was enough of a job, but I was busy. But I am an entrepreneur. And I was also, and most importantly, and the reason that I said yes to this, a year and a half after they introduced me to Isagenix, I had health challenges for 13 years. And was told by some doctors in my very early 20s that I had a condition that I was going to have to deal with the rest of my life. And that, there were significant changes I had to make in my life to stay healthy and to be stabilized. And I started to make all of those changes and did the best I could with the doctors, did the best I could with some treatments. And it was a battle. My goodness, it was a battle, and it was taking my life from me. I was not married at the time. I was engaged, but wanted to have a family one day, and spent more time at the doctor's offices and quite honestly in some hospital beds that I don't care to ever go back to. Just relying on, you know, doctors and medicine to save me. And at some point that saved my life for sure. I knew deep down inside that something had to be better. I knew at 22, I was not going to live the rest of my life in and out of the hospital, in and out of the doctor, and suffering, not sleeping, being in pain. The swelling was in my intestines. I had taken my intestines for granted. You know, I thought I ate pretty decently, but I did have an enormous amount of stress in my life. I was recruited to a huge corporate America job. And, you know, the stress just got to me. I didn't have a mentor. I made good money, but it meant nothing when I was in pain. And I had goals and I was ambitious. Most importantly to me was to work with people, whether I was in corporate America or be home. And so, you know, I was the one that started challenging my doctors to say, is there something more? Is there something different I can do? I drank aloe vera juice from the grocery store. Some of you may or may not have ever had that. It tastes terrible, but aloe vera juice from the grocery store by the half gallon, to try to get my tummy to be calm. I shipped probiotics out of a business in Texas that had to be shipped in a cooler. It would get to my house. I would be notified and I would put it immediately in the refrigerator. I mixed that with yogurt or applesauce for 4 years, almost on a daily basis. It's very difficult to eat yogurt or applesauce anymore because I did that for a long time. But in addition to, you know, just trying all these solutions that, and being a normal person, you know, I still like to eat out. I liked a glass of wine. You know, there were things that I didn't want to lose in my life, but I would completely have to give up. And then additionally, be doing these probiotics and be drinking this aloe vera juice and managing my stress. And it was just a full-time job. My health was a full-time job. I wanted to have a successful career. I wanted to help my brother open these businesses, and it was just too much. And so, you know, along comes, let's say 13 years later. And if I'm okay to be really vulnerable and open with you, I made a decision to take out my large intestine and my rectum because I was so sick. And at 24, I knew that my quality of life would be better without those organs. And so I made a decision to do that because of all those goals that I talked about. And I knew that my quality of life was going to be better without that. That's how bad it was. And so in trying all of these things over the course of 13 years without my colon, nothing ever really got me. Occasionally I felt better and I could back off on some of the treatments. And, but at the end of the day, something was missing. I knew that there had to be something else. I was, you know, now that this group, because of your slides and your presentation, even just tonight, they understand that, you know, we are malnourished, that our society is toxic. My body was very toxic. It was very acidic. I was fighting inflammation. I was stressed. You know, I was sad. I was confused. I had all this stuff going on. And I knew that there was something to nutrition, but I did not know how to do it. I didn't know how to cook well. I didn't know how to cook a perfect meal. I didn't know how to balance my carbohydrates and my fat and my proteins and my healthy sugars. You know, I wasn't good at that. And I was too busy to figure that out. I did not want to make nutrition my full-time job. It was too hard. And so I had other things in life I wanted to do. When Isagenix came along, like most people, Duncan, I said, this is too good to be true. They're telling me that this is the nutritious solution. They're telling me that it's clean. They're telling me that it works effectively in just a handful of days. They're telling me that I can reduce this inflammation in my body. And it's part of the reason I said no for 18 months, because I just felt like if this doesn't work and it's making all of these, you know, very exciting testimonials and these people are thriving, but if it doesn't work for me, most people think that if it doesn't work for me, I'll be the one it doesn't work for. And so I was one of those skeptics. I was a little bit scared. And most importantly, Duncan, I didn't want to be let down again because I had tried these other solutions. My doctors didn't know enough about nutrition, except they liked my ambition to get better outside of the doctor's office and not have to go see them every 6 months and have my blood drawn. And I can't even tell you. So for this crowd, and you mentioned some people that have had success, that you've got testimonials. I had 3 colonoscopies before I was 24 years old. I wasn't supposed to be doing that at 24. You're supposed to be 50 when you do that, right? So, it just wasn't okay. I needed a solution, and I decided reluctantly and scared and already feeling defeated, like it wouldn't work. I tried Isagenix. And to get to the good part, and Duncan, you've justified this already on this call, and just through your own experience, but I couldn't believe in a week how differently I felt. I couldn't believe the mental clarity I had. I had more of a relaxed demeanor. I had more focus and energy. And sure enough, I was thinking, this can't be the Isagenix. This can't be making this much of a change that it was noticeable to me. My appetite got under control. My belly just kind of slowed down. It just felt settled. And when that's your pain point for 13 years, you notice the change. And so sure enough, time went on. I did not know that I had 11 pounds to release, but I released 11 pounds through this natural form of detoxification with giving Isagenix to my body and letting my body do what it was supposed to do naturally on its own, which is keep it clean, protect it, remove the impurities, remove the toxins. And I will tell you that as a leader, I'm supposed to say that Isagenix did not heal me. It did not cure me. But when I started to really use dense nutrition, it really changed everything. Immunity came up, all those good side effects, including weight loss that I wasn't necessarily looking for. That wasn't my goal. So Duncan, the rest is history. I am 8 years on this product. I will not live without it. I started to do some deep cleansing once a month because it replaced my treatments at the doctor's office. And I thought I can do a deep cleanse each month, way far above and beyond what I want to be doing otherwise and what I had done for 13 years prior. And so from a product standpoint, I'm invincible. Nobody can tell me it's not brilliant. Nobody can tell me it doesn't work. Everyone has some level of inflammation. 95% of Americans, Canada's in bad shape. Mexico's in bad shape. Australia's in bad shape. Their acidity levels are outrageous, just like they are here in the United States, because we're exposed to toxicity and contaminated, products and air and food and water all the time. So our bodies are fighting to stay clean. My body's clean. My filters are clean. My liver, my kidneys, right? And I'm treating it the best I can. And it was not impossible. It was so simple to add this into my life. And that's what I did. And now I can have my wine, and now I can eat my spicy food again. And I have all of this freedom that was taken from me for 13 years of eating. And so, here I am, Duncan, I started to share this thing, like I said, starting with my brothers, and my dad had high blood pressure and high cholesterol and needed to release 60 pounds. My mom was coming out of radiation for chemotherapy. She was 42 years a nurse. So she knew all about what alkalinity was and getting rid of those toxins in the body. And I started to share with them, my workout partner who I was with all the time, my best friend who was at the gym all the time. And I started to share this with them and say, I have a secret weapon. Nobody knows about this, but see if it works for you. See what you think. Brothers started, of course. And so we've gone on, Duncan. It's scary, but we've helped a lot of 100,000 people. I've indirectly been able to impact 115,000 people now with Isagenix. I've personally helped about 600 of them over the course of 8 years. And I learned recently that at my level of sharing and impact, I think, my team has earned the company no less than $32 million a year. And so Isagenix is, just from some of the influence directly and indirectly that I've been able to have in the world, Isagenix is earning some good money, and they've paid me abundantly to just do this, to tell my story and to love people and to understand what their pain points are and what the lowest point in their life was. And if that's a change that they want to make, then I sit and have those conversations. And Duncan, it's one conversation at a time, just like Herb told me it would be when I said yes, finally. So thank you. I took a lot of time. I don't want to take any more time. Duncan, I'm happy to answer any questions. Soccer gets out in about 7 minutes. So if hold on. So if I can share anything else, I'd love to do that for you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing and being so open. And so I think you already answered my first question, and as you know, how did you go ahead and impact all those people? And you said it's just one person at a time, and loving them and caring for them and sharing, and so that makes complete sense to me now. So I would love to just open this up to anybody else here on this call that has a question, and I might just start off with this. So. Do you know what the average pH level is of these products? You mentioned low acid, several times. How does that help people?
What a great question. And I wish I could get into the science. And one of my favorite sites is isagenixhealth.net. It's one of my favorites. And you can even put science in the search button and get all kinds of really neat articles that actually back to some of the statistics that you were talking about that have been proven consistently from research over research, to third-party companies that have been hired to test Isagenix and their products for the integrity and for making sure that there's no chemicals and there's no gluten gets in there, and there's nothing artificial, that we're sourcing the best ingredients, and the company spends a lot of money to do that. And then they spend a lot of money to have researchers outside come in to test these and do some testing on people. When I hear things, and now blood pH, there's always medical professionals or doctors that hear this. And I like to say this to be careful, but blood pH in the human body is really the best indicator of what's going on in our system. But when I learned that our bodies in saliva or even in urine, are an indicator of where we are from an acidity standpoint, I went right out and bought some pH strips to start to understand how acidic I was, how acidic my children were. My friends that showed up at the house, I made them do an acidity test. They just put it on their tongue for a second, and that, we measure it. It's a great indicator of acidity. And I have stories, Duncan, I could tell you about being in rooms and testing people, and then testing the people that had been using Isagenix, and how different their results were just on the saliva strip. Some people prefer to do the urine, or they're paying attention to their pH. Every time you get your physical and you have your blood tested, one of the things they look at is your blood pH. It's a small one pH that we want to improve. But if you look at the blood under a microscope, you can really see a more acidic cell in the blood, right? Versus what's going on for a more alkaline body. And there's videos out there, not even Isagenix, but there's videos out there that show the difference between an acidic body and an alkaline body. And so when it comes to food, if we are loading acidic food in our system, we're just feeding the problem. And, a great example, and what's really helpful for a lot of people, because there's a lot of coffee drinkers in the world, to learn that Starbucks coffee, which I'm not a fan of, to be honest, but Starbucks coffee has a very low pH on the acidity level of 4.25. So what an alkaline body should look like and what a food should look like are a 7.0, right? 7.0 is a neutral pH. You're not too acidic. You're not very alkaline, but you're neutral at least. Your body's doing okay. And so that 7.0 is a good number. This is a cool thing to research for anybody who's listening for the first time, or maybe is new that wants to just understand a little bit more. But to learn that that Starbucks coffee was 4.25 on the scale, here's the point. Isagenix creates coffee and brings it in, and that coffee is a 6.8. So they have formulated a beautiful coffee that has got some green tea base in it. It's got some coconut base in it, because we know that coconut's good for us. It's got those bases in them. It tastes exceptional. And it is so much more gentle on the system, the stomach, and you're not feeding your body that high acidity. And so if you're drinking a Starbucks every day, every other day, whatever, you've got to drink at least 8 big glasses of water to try to water down the acidity that's coming in from that coffee. Or you can have a cup of Isagenix coffee and pretty much be right there. And so Isagenix moves into a much higher pH, meaning getting into alkalinity, the opposite of acidity, and bringing us into a more alkaline food. You mentioned greens. They are beautifully alkaline, especially organic greens. legally in this country, they still may have some chemicals in them because that's just what it's like in this country. It's legally still considered organic. It may have chemicals. It's better than conventional broccoli. Conventional broccoli is loaded with toxins. Strawberries are loaded with toxins. They find upwards of 25, 26 toxins in a conventional strawberry. An organic strawberry might have more like 4 or 5 toxins in it, right? So clearly a better choice. Isagenix is beyond that standard. Our standards are beyond that. There is no chemical in our food, and it's sourced clean, it's tested in-house, and then it is third-party tested to be sure it doesn't get to us, the customers, with chemical in it, with junk in it. And so it's so clean, and that's going to push that scale really high up, you know, past the 7s, into the 8s, greens into the 8s, cleanse for life, which is an aloe vera base, by the way, that tastes so much better than the aloe vera I was drinking off the shelf at the grocery store. And it's so much better for you the way this company has done it. But you're getting into that more alkaline food. You're loading your body with that alkaline food, and inevitably that pH is going to start coming up. And I always encourage people, go test your saliva and see what it tells you.
That's, oh my goodness, that was fantastic. I'm going to go get a saliva test kit.
Yeah, Amazon has them for like $10.
Jessica, this is Chuck Williams. Thank you so much for sharing tonight. Good to see you.
Yes,
great story.
Thank you.
We're going to have a lot of prospects watching this video. What would you suggest before you got to run to soccer practice that a new person do at this point?
So, thank you. And Chuck, it's always so good to see you. And you know what, you two gentlemen, I think I know Herb and Patty brought you into this company saying you guys are going to make a great impact. And I know that you are consistently, having an impact. And of course it starts with making sure the products work for you and you have a strong testimonial. There's nothing to lose here. There's nothing to lose with Isagenix. And if people are not eating perfectly, if their whole food choices are not exceptional, if they like to even cheat sometimes. I like French fries, I eat with my kids, sometimes I don't make the best choices, but I needed some flexibility to be able to live my life normally, but still make sure I'm getting that nutrition. And so if people are open to nutrition, if they're open to wanting to rid some of the impurities and the inflammation in their system, their bodies are going to do that automatically. Isagenix is the best support system I've ever seen in my 20 years of fitness and my, 18 years of health challenges, right? Which no longer exist. Thank goodness. I haven't seen a doctor in a long time, years. But if anybody's struggling with their health, if people are interested in releasing body fat, a side effect of this program is releasing body fat, and it can be very abundant for people that have that to release. If anybody's really tired, if you're really tired, if you're not sleeping well, if you have brain fog in the middle of the day, all of those are indicators that you're acidic, and you have nothing to lose with Isagenix. I always tell people I'm a big fan of the value pack. It's what I started on. It is the most comprehensive system as far as I'm concerned. Most people are not good with their vitamin regimen. I needed a vitamin regimen where the vitamins didn't expire 2 years and I had to throw them out. I rarely remembered to take them, right? I needed a good vitamin regimen. If I was going to do this, I was going to do it well. I wanted the chocolates for my cleanse days. I wanted some extra snacks. I wanted some energy because I was a mom, right? So if any of those things sound familiar, and you crave any of those things, I always recommend the value pack. It's the right way to get started, to get the best program. It's got the best sustainability. And I think the retention is proven. Actually, the retention is the best for our customers and for our people to get the best results and then want to stay in this program. So that's great. Occasionally, I tell people, if you just want to do a basic system because you're really scared or you're really skeptical or you're just unsure, or maybe you just don't have the budget, I tell people to start with a basic system. It is going to get them a result. It's a beautiful program, and people can start there. I think you guys that have been in Isagenix long enough know which one is going to be best for, the people that you're talking to based on what their goals are. And so I always recommend that that's what you do, that you go for it. And at 29 days, I rarely have to say this, But at 29 days, if you're unhappy, you get your money back. You don't even have to send the product back. You just get your money credited back to you. So it's kind of like a free trial. You just got to put that money up front to purchase your product. So, I would I think that it was Duncan that said in the beginning, talk to the person who invited you to this call or who sent you this recording, and tell them that you want to give this thing a shot, and talk about your budget, what your goals are, and the person that invited you will have a good recommendation for where they want you to get started.